Greetings, this is James Gilliland with ESETI. It's been a while since we posted anything on YouTube. We've been gathering a lot of information and working very hard here on the ranch. The information we've been getting lately is very timely, and so it was time to get out and start bringing this information out again. There's some very interesting things going on here for those who haven't been paying attention to the ESETI website or some of the events happening. We've had master teachers appear here. We've had Mother Mary appear here, Kuan Yin, Kazekiel, one of the beings that I work with. We wrote the books Reunion with Source and Becoming Gods, which talk all about these events that are now unfolding on the planet as far back as 1982. But one of the new breakthroughs that we're having right now is that we actually are connecting with a lot of our ancient ancestors, and some of these ancient ancestors are very humanoid, but they're not humans as we would know them. They're felines, and they're humanoid feline races, and some actually have look more like a cat, some look more like a panther, and like a lion. And we're talking about 5th, 6th, and 7th dimensional beings that are starting to appear here. And the reason I'm making this broadcast right now is because there is a 7th dimensional feline being that by the name of Bakal, who's been coming here, and at his request, we decided to bring this information out. They're talking a lot about these changes. They've been talking about this revolution that we're experiencing. They said it's not just here in the States, and even though you're not hearing about it on mainstream TV, we all know why. It's the same reason you're not hearing about fuelless energy or the cure for diabetes or anything about UFOs that are flying around your planet as we speak. Whole flotillas of UFOs have been flying over California, Mexico, Peru, all over the planet right now. Just massive, massive flotillas of ships, and you're not hearing about this. But do a search on it. Search in flotilla or UFO flotilla or UFO 2011, and you'll find it. But again, the mainstream media is not covering it. Just recently in Carmichael, California, there was a whole flotilla of ships that flew over towards San Francisco. It's all over the YouTube. Again, I didn't see it in any major news coverage. But anyway, be that as may, what they're telling us now is that we are in for some huge changes. Things are going to move very fast. We're into the 7th day. There's 18 days in this 7th day. It started on the 10th. Right after the 10th, we moved into the 7th day. And that's going to be a time compression. So things are going to compress, and you're going to have hundreds and hundreds of years of evolution in a very short time. So what would have taken maybe hundreds or thousands of years is going to take a very short time to come to fruition. What they're telling me now, they're talking about universal law, and universal law is God's law. And I know a lot of people have an issue with the name God, but let's just call it a frequency and a force, the one consciousness that encompasses all consciousness and all planes and dimensions. We don't have to give it a name or a face or an image. Let's just call it the big is, whatever you want to call it. But anyway, there are universal principles and understandings that are necessary for a healthy society and planet. There are universal laws. And these are the laws of spirit or creator, and those laws are coming into play, and they're coming in very strong right now. So those who have chosen the path of unbridled greed and wealth and chose to act in ways that are harmful to humanity and the earth and are playing the separation game, their game is over. It's coming to a close. So we're moving into unity consciousness. It's the 9th wave. It's hitting its apex on the 28th. And what's interesting, a lot of other things between now and then are going to hit their apex. So I would be very cautious about living on the coast, either coast, the East Coast first and then the West Coast afterwards. There's going to be a lot of movement. There's already a lot of volcanism and plate movement going on. The oceans, the waters are going to be moving, and so I would pay attention to that. You know, it's a no-brainer. This isn't prophecy, this is science, it's statistics. So we've got some huge volcanoes going off. One in Iceland, the Canary Islands are going off. There's volcanoes all over the world going off right now, and a lot of them undersea, you know, underneath the oceans, so that we're not even hearing about. Off the coast of California, there's a major volcano going off, and they're having the earthquakes there are escalating. So there'll probably be an event there, not too far in the future. There's a lot of things unfolding. These, you know, kudos to the Wall Street gang, you know, that is making the cry and actually bringing the lesson home to the international bankers. We wrote about that in 1982, who these people were, what their program was, and that they were going to take it to the limit. And now they have. They've taken it to the limit. The uneven dispersal of wealth, the manufactured lack that's been created by this group, just the devastation to humanity and the earth, you know, with the oil and the mining operations and the GMO products and everything else that they're doing has hit the apex right now. It's coming up to the world's attention, and the world is fed up. Over 80 countries now are getting involved in this, you know, march against the tyrants, and they told us a long time ago that this was all going to come to the surface, and the age of tyranny is coming to a close, and it's going to come to close probably by the end of October, 1st of November. You're going to see these empires fold in on themselves and crumble. Right now they're running scared. They know they've been exposed. They know the people know who they are. They know the people know what they've done. Too many people are out of work, you know, out of their homes. You know, the greed and the massing of wealth is just, it's gone epidemic. And now that epidemic needs to be dealt with. So like any virus or any kind of a contagion, you know, there comes a time where you have to deal with it or it kills the whole host, and that's where we're at right now. This uneven dispersal of wealth, this unbridled greed, the tyranny behind this, the wars, you know, the war industry, the pharmaceutical industry, the oil industry, all of these industries are seriously damaging the planet and the evolution of humanity and the earth. So it's come full circle, and they've talked about these events since 1982. But again, it is unfolding now. The just us system that we have right now is not for the people. It's been hijacked. Almost everything, the political system has been hijacked by the big corporations. Everything has been hijacked by these guys. And it's time to turn things around and get things back into the hands of the people. And that's what's happening. What these beings didn't count on is other forces. They know of these forces. They don't know who these forces are. They don't know how these forces operate. They know literally nothing about these forces, just as they know hardly anything about the ships that are coming here. They don't know who's on them. They don't know what their intentions are. They don't know anything about their cultures. But they call themselves the experts. NASA is never a straight answer. They don't know. It's amazing. You talk to these head people in NASA, they don't know who's on these ships. They don't know why they're here. They don't have a clue because they haven't risen to the occasion. They're not walking a path of impeccable integrity, and they're not walking a path in service to humanity, the earth, so they aren't going to be contacted. And the only way they're going to find out is through us, who these people are, and those who have risen to the occasion. I've talked to people all over the world. Last night I did a radio show with Mary Rodwell, and these feline beings are appearing there. They've been appearing everywhere. They're the protectors. They're the benevolent protectors here. Since ancient India, since Egypt, they've been around, they've been documented, and now they're returning. So, you know, if you're starting dreams of these lion beings, or these panther beings, or these other felines, beautiful beings, very, very powerful beings, but also very loving beings. They're very advanced beings, both technologically and spiritually. The Pleiadians are coming here in force right now. The consortium and the councils have all gotten together. They've decided that the Pleiadians have more genetic stock in the Earth than any other race. They were the originators of Atlantis and Lemuria, which weren't fables. They were real events that happened that went through some serious changes. So anyway, they're returning right now, and they're coming back with legions, and they're coming back with a lot of different beings that are helping them to reset the planet, to bring back universal law, to get humanity and the Earth back on course, to reach its full potential, to continue to evolve and move forward and put an end to this tyranny and the destruction of the environment and all the other things that are going on. So there's going to be a lot of changes, a lot of earth movement, a lot of water movement. There's going to be a lot of social economic changes as the beast falls, as this old system falls. And what we need to do is make our own personal God connection, creator spirit connection, whatever you want to call it, and start flowing with that energy and move if you're told to move. Loving detachment is something you're going to have to master, because there are going to be times when you're going to have to make a choice, you know, whether you stay in your comfort zone or move to higher ground, or if you continue in a job that's detrimental to humanity, the Earth, that may be enslaving others or harming the environment. And if you stay in that job, then you're going to have an experience, because that job is going to come to an end. It's not sustainable. It's not going to match the frequencies. So we have to be frequency specific with this shift that's going on. We have to rise in frequency, which means releasing the past, releasing the old grudges, the angers, the frustrations, the sadness, the sorrow, all the old wounds and traumas. We have to let them go. And these beings are here to assist us in this process. You had an event a while back over Jerusalem. You had the Dome of the Rock. You had a ship drop down right over the Dome of the Rock. It was an explosive event, because the energy that came off that ship changed the whole nature of that area. All this psychometrized old tyranny, separation game that was going on there, the old religious games, was totally dispersed. It was shifted and changed. And so that gave them a new beginning. And so you look what's happening, you know, right now. The people in the East are coming forward, and they're saying enough, we're done with war, you know. Even a lot of the soldiers in Israel are saying enough, we're not going to do this, this is wrong, you know, what we're doing to the Palestinians. And so that's going to have to come to a close. That whole event there is going to come to a close. I love what Mary said. Mary said that universal peace will never come through governments or through, you know, through religions. It's going to come through the hearts and the minds of the people. And so it's up to the people to stand up and say enough. You know, enough of the war industry. They're using up 90% of our resources right now. We have people in the streets, families without homes, without food. We've got collapsing bridges over here in the States. We have some very, very serious problems here in the state. We can't afford to go out and to other countries and try to you know, take them over because of the resources. There's never ever been a holy war. All of these wars have been set up. They've been set up for one reason, and that's because one group wanted what another group had. Be it oil, be it gold, be it natural resources. There's even been wars over women in the past, just because one king wanted the other king's wife, basically. So they were not holy wars, because we're all children of God. There's not one person that's separate from omnipresent and not loved by the Creator. So the Creator's not behind harming others. The Creator is not behind theft. The Creator is not behind suppressing freedom. And the Creator's service. That's what it is. It's pure, unconditional love and joy and bliss, and love serves. It doesn't overpower, it empowers others. And so now we're seeing an end to the tyranny, an end to those who want to overpower others, an end to those who believe they're totally separate from humanity and the earth, and into those who are playing this game of just unbridled greed that has come to an apex right now. And this is all unfolding. And so what we're seeing is, you usually see the, excuse me, you usually see the sun. The sun is the big generator of almost everything here. Shut the sun off, we're history. We're gone, basically. The sun, with its flares and its coronal mass ejections, is supercharging the earth right now. We are also moving into a highly energized place in space. We're getting hit with up to 500 hits a day of energies coming from unknown sources. Cosmic rays, gamma rays, all these rays are hitting the earth right now. With all this energy influx, something's going to bust loose. It has to. The earth is growing, it's expanding, it's heating up. It's not the humans that are doing this. They aggravate it a little bit, but it's a natural cycle. All the planets are going through this shift. And it's a shift that's universal, basically. There's photographs of the center of the Milky Way that have lit up. The whole center of the Milky Way has just lit up. It's thrown off a tremendous amount of energy. So the beginning of our beginnings, the Big Bang that radiated outward, whatever you want to call it, has said, guess what? We're going through Big Bang 2. We're going to radiate again. And so that energy is radiating out throughout the entire galaxy. And this is fact. This isn't prophecy, but it was prophecy, actually, because the Mayans knew about it a long time ago. But anyway, to make a long story short, we are going to go through some massive changes. There are some beautiful beings, exquisite beings that are helping us with this process. They work through consciousness and energy. They work with the energy grids on the planet. They work with the consciousness grids on the planet. They work in ways that most people will never know until you rise to the occasion. But you will feel the impact of these changes. Everybody will. It's unavoidable. So it's time for all of us to join together, to work together, to not support the beast, to make changes, start creating a new world. Not the New World Order, but a world where people live in harmony, live in peace, where there's individual freedom and prosperity for everybody. Basically, brother-sisterly love is the key. Love is the key to everything. Love is the universal law that supersedes all law. And if you're not acting in love, you're out of it. You're out of alignment, you might say. So again, I love the saying, I bring this up, there's a Cherokee saying that says, if it's not good for everyone, it isn't good. And we need to start looking at that. Although we might increase our stock portfolio or our bank account, if we are capitalizing at the expense of humanity and the earth, we're going to have an experience because you're out of alignment with the new grid. And there's going to be a very quick reaction to these actions. And what we're seeing with these major revolutions going on, these are reactions to actions. And it's a balancing act that's coming forward. So the earth is going to rebalance herself. She's going to do what she needs to do to heal. The whole cosmos is behind it. There are planes and dimensions and beings behind this shift that are beyond your imagination that are helping with this process. And they've talked a lot about what's happening right now. There's incredible protection coming in for the light workers and for the people that are standing tall during this process. So anyway, just a little heads up, if you see a big furry giant lion being standing in front of you, don't run away from it, give it a big hug. As powerful as these beings are, they're very loving and they have a great sense of humor. But they're here as protectors and they're here to set things straight. And they're not alone. I mean, there's a whole consortium of beings. And you've got the Andromedans, you've got the Orion Council of Light, you have the Arcturians, the Pleiadians. I can go on and on. There are so many different beings. We're meeting beings I've never heard of before. They're flying over the East Ranch, and we're actually filming these beings in their ships. So there is a massive effort by our friends on high, our spiritually and technologically advanced off-world visitors that are coming here, as well as a very advanced race living on the interior. They're all working together to shift the frequencies of the planet and get us moving into the original intent of this planet, which was to evolve and become an Eden where people could reach their highest potential in the physical. This highest intent was hijacked, and the hijackers are now being dealt with. So anyway, just be very careful who you align yourself with. Be very careful the choices you make in the future. Be very careful how attached you are, or how attached you are to a comfort zone that may not be in alignment with this process. And just pay attention to nature, because she's the one that's going to be telling you what's going on. You're going to hear it here, and you're going to see it in nature. And that's what you need to pay attention to. Forget about the mainstream media. It's not going to tell you what's going down. They will be the last ones to figure it out. So I wouldn't even go there. Go to your heart. That's where you're going to find the information. But that's it. It's coming soon. These shifts, these changes are coming very soon. All I can say is pay attention. In some areas there will be a lot of help. There will be some people that will be picked up during this process. There's an old saying that God helps those who help themselves, so it's really important that we do our own work, make our own choices, and not, create a dependency. That's the most important thing right now, because we are evolving back to that full potential. We're evolving back to the God within each and every individual. And we need to walk, as God beings, not as slaves. And that slavery program is coming to an end. That's it. That's all I have to say today. Have a great day. Don't get into fear. Have fun with this process and flow with this process. That's all I can say. Some are going to get the gut punch because you know that that you're in the wrong place and you need to make some big changes and decisions. And that's okay. I got that gut punch a long time ago. And so it's really okay. I'm not preaching fear. This is just reality. Can you change it? A lot of it you can change. Are you going to interfere in the Earth's need to heal herself and renew herself and move forward? Because you want your comfort zone to remain the same? I wouldn't depend on that program. Because the mind that you're using, if you are aligned with that program, is not going to get you where you need to go. It's not going to create the future that you want to see. So anyway, on that note, again, it's very important that each and every one of us make our own personal connection with Creator, Spirit, God, whatever you want to call it. Honor that divine feminine energy that's coming in to assist us in this process that's balancing things out. Find the balance within yourself and start creating a different world, because the world as you know it, in most cases, is not going to be the same. It's going to change. And we have to live in harmony with each other and the planet if we are going to continue on this ride. But anyway, that's it. Have a great evening, and we'll talk soon.